If you are a proponent of great things come in small packages, this one might just be for you. We are in Flora in Hutto. This is Tri Pointe Homes. Let's take a look. Okay, friends, I said great things in small packages, and I truly think that's what this is. I am here back in Flora in Hutto, this time with Tri Pointe Homes, checking out a product line that I don't always take a lot of looks at, and that's in a 45-foot product. The reason I don't look at a lot of 45-foot homes, you're gonna see as soon as we walk out here and take a look at the front of the home, this is not a very wide home. The garage will take up most of that front elevation. But for those who are on a budget, still wanna be new, don't need a ton of square footage, 45 foot is a lot of times what they will look at, the 45-foot product range. And again, when we talk 45 foot, we're talking about the width at the front of the lot. The reason I personally don't always love 45-foot lots are because a lot of times they are oriented side to side versus front to back. And what I mean by that is your windows for your great room tend to be on the side of the home because based on the amount of width you have, there's really nowhere else to put a big, long group of windows like what you need to get the natural light that so many people like. This floor plan from Tri Pointe is able to get all of the windows towards the back, which is something that I find just much more pleasing to the eye. I think it adds a lot more privacy and just gives the home a much more upscale feel. This is a really well thought out, really well designed floor plan. I want to see your opinions. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is a cool floor plan. Let's take a look. I'm gonna walk you through now. Let's take a look. Okay, friends, this is the front of our home from Tri Pointe Homes. As you can see, like I mentioned before, they've got a lot of landscaping out here, but you can kind of tell from the front of this home just how much less width there is compared to some of the other homes. How much of the home it takes up, you get a sense for the relative lack of width at the front of the home. And so what they may do to make up for that is they push these homes further back onto the lot. So you end up with a little less yard and a little bit less width on the sides, but you end up with a product that is quite a bit more economical to build. And you end up with something that you can find in price points that are otherwise unattainable in new construction. But still, as with all things Tri Pointe, a ton of beautiful features in this home. And as I mentioned in the introduction, the reason I like this floor plan so much is because they were able to achieve, that will be your entry to the garage, they're able to achieve something that not a lot of 45-foot product is, and that is these windows are oriented to the back of the home and not side to side. Most of these in these 45 here. This one, you're able to get a more traditional feel because you're able to put those windows to the back. I just think it makes the home feel a lot more private, makes it feel a lot more traditionally outfit. I think it works a lot better. I think there's a lot of thoughtful touches in here as well. I look at the cabinetry that surrounds the refrigerator here. Lots of custom shelving. Really love the pulls that they're doing here. This black is a really nice touch alongside the more natural colored wood elements here on the island. Not a huge kitchen, but certainly usable and with really thoughtful touches, really elegant design throughout. We're seeing more of this rather than a more traditional tile backsplash. This is actually, they're using plank style tiles. I don't know if you can see some of the seams here. So that's almost more like floor tile that you would typically see, but a really neat pattern and gives it a really nice look without all of the costs that it would take to usually go to like a slab style backsplash there. So that's a really neat and thoughtful design element that's not going to break the bank. Half bath here on the main level, really cool wallpaper. I like that they did it on all the walls instead of just one. If I can offer any advice, get funky in a half bath, but also make sure you do it on all the walls. It's going to make it feel a lot more cohesive. Laundry with a window. I know for some folks that's a huge plus. You saw back here, we have a pretty good sized pantry as you first walk in to the kitchen area. Again, really thoughtful touches. And this honestly feels really right sized. You can see they have a relatively large piece of furniture here, this sectional. It's a pretty decent size. It's not massive, but there's certainly room to where you could even go probably a little bit larger off to this side where they have this plant. And if you didn't do sliders, you could even go a little bit further. But I think the sliders are a nice touch. A lot of folks don't love this style, but in 45 foots, this is what you're going to or shotgun style setup with the dining room table between kitchen and living. But here you can get a good sense because of the way they've staged it. I don't think it feels too tight. I think this feels pretty right size. You have pretty good space on either side. I'm not hurting for any amount of walkway here. I think it makes a lot of sense. And if you do something like a bench, like what they've done here, it can open that up just a little bit more so you're not feeling so cluttered with a bunch of chairs. It just kind of cleans up the eye line a little bit. And again, nice high ceilings in here, which helps a ton in this main living room to make it feel a little bit larger. You can see up to the loft above. Moving on into the primary suite. Again, really right size, not huge, but you see they have room for a little sitting chair. Nightstands on either side. Double vanity. Love this walk-in shower, really pretty. There is probably still room if you wanted to do a tub here. You would have to make this shower a little bit smaller, but you do have some really nice lighting options. I think we see more people going to the big stand-up showers instead of a tub because not so many people are using them, but most floor plans and most builders have options if you really need it. Good size walk-in closet. And again, really thoughtful touches. We're seeing a lot of this black and white type of design where we're seeing kind of a dichotomy between lowers being one color, uppers being another in a tile. I think this is a really useful design element because it gives you just some visual interest without having to go crazy on expensive tiles. Both of those, I would say, are relatively inexpensive selections that give a really upscale and unique look that doesn't break the bank. These 45-foot sections are a really good place for builders to demonstrate some of that thoughtful design that are geared towards not spending a ton of money. Love the lateral rail here. So as you come up, you have a decent sized loft area. The one thing I do like a lot here is that you have multiple ways you could set this up. Good windows. This would probably be your TV wall if you wanted to put a TV up here. And because you don't have an office area downstairs, they have this little nook here to where if you did need like a little pocket office, you could do something right there. Guest suite. What's up? This is the one thing that I find people who gravitate towards new construction, this is one of the things they really love. Most new construction homes you will find have at least one guest suite with a private ensuite, which in older construction homes you won't see as much of. I mention it today because in a 45-foot section, your pricing here is going to be much more similar to that of resale homes. And so you really could be comparing this to something that was built in the 80s that doesn't have some of these new features. So that's why when I see a product in this size range, I get kind of excited if I like it, because it does add an additional option for folks who otherwise might have only had resale to choose from. And then of course, your final bedroom. All of these really right sized, certainly better than most that you would find in older homes. I'm intrigued. I think this is cool. I think there's a lot to like here. I want to know though what you think. Does this design style make sense? Does this feel like it's going to be right sized, or does it feel a little too tight? You miss the width of a larger home. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about this home or any others. Questions about Flora. Like I said, Hutto is about to hit the map. Flora is one of the big reasons why. Let me know what you think. I'm intrigued. Until next time, guys. Talk to you later.